Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host Rob Bentley and thanks for tuning in. On today's show we'll recap an exciting win for the Ferris State football team and we'll touch base with Bulldog Volleyball, which has won 16 matches in a row, but we'll start with Bulldog Football and joined by head coach Tony Annese. Coach, welcome back to the show.
My pleasure, Rob.
A tremendous performance by your team this past weekend, a 42-20 win over Wayne State, a game that you knew you needed to win and certainly were able to do that.
Yeah, I was really nervous about that one. You know, they'd had a great season up until that point, and we were kind of hit and miss, and so it was great to not only win a big game against a great opponent, but also to play up to our level of expectations. I thought on all three phases we were exceptional, and you know, that's a great feeling as a coach to see your team perform the way you thought they could all year.
I know you said after the game one of the better performances you've had in the 5 years you've been here at Ferris State.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I really think a lot of this team, I think we've got a lot of talent, and we've played really hard, but you know, just simple things have really cost us to be, you know, the team that we hope to be. But now, you know, after that game, we feel great about what we've achieved and look forward to some more challenges.
So we go to some of the highlights of the game. Got off to a great start in the opening quarter, 14 points. Reggie Bell got you going with a 65-yard touchdown run here to open the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, part of you know, what Wayne State's MO was they, you know, able to run the ball effectively, and so for us to get an early lead was critical. Here, Jamel, you know, his first play that we possessed, Jamel, you know, he's a speed and space guy and able to get early yards, and here we run a draw, and Reggie has great block by Jahan, and downfield we do a great job of blocking, and then Reggie, you know, he's a hard guy to catch once he gets going, so that's a huge start for us.
Had a big defensive play right after that as Zach Sealer gets the hit and then David Churchwell with the interception.
Yeah, Zach's done a great job with pressure all year, and David is a former Wayne State Warrior, played for me at Muskegon, and kind of took a couple years off and came back here and finished his eligibility. So it's awesome for him to be successful like that.
You're able to turn that defensive turnover into points here as Reggie throws his first touchdown pass of the game.
Yeah, to Juwan Polak, you know, it's a little boot, and Reggie did a great job there getting on the pocket and hitting Juwan. And there Zach gets another sack and leading the GLIAC in sacks, so that's critical for us.
Able to take a 21-0 lead here as Shakur Sanders able to break a couple tackles here after coming down with the football.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to be aggressive down the field, and Shaq and Malik are both just great down the field guys, and we're able to hit them several times, and it was key.
Wayne State will get on the board for the first time here, but you did a pretty good job all game long shutting down Romello Brown, who was a talented running back.
We did, and we also answered their score, so, you know, as soon as they scored, we marched down in 3 plays, I believe. 2 of them are Reggie runs. They're obviously capping the drive off with a touchdown.
28-13 will be the score here at halftime after Wayne State scores. What was the focus at halftime of trying to?
I was disappointed in that score, and then we drove back down and missed a field goal, really a chip shot. So I was nervous at halftime that maybe they stole the momentum, and I told the guys we had to really, you know, we received the opening kickoff of the second half, and I told the guys we really needed to do a good job at driving the ball, and we were able to score. They're you know, I think our camera people like to see the girl get knocked down, but here a great screen play. Jahan does what Jahan does. He finds open space and makes a great run, and so it was a great call. They brought pressure right into our face, and Reggie executed it really well.
Reggie with a couple touchdowns in the first half here. In the third quarter, Jahan Brown, we'll see him with a couple scores.
Yeah, that's just you know, a good check by Reggie to run speed option to the boundary, and we were able to get that, and it was a big play.
Here, another run from Jahan Brown. Did a great job of keeping this play alive and breaking some tackles to get to the end zone.
Yeah, that's just, you know, I think that's everyone's favorite play of the day. Just Jahan just being who he is just an extraordinary athlete, and he can really run it.
Here for the third week in a row, 42-13 lead, and able to get some guys some playing time, some key playing time in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we had 42 points with midway through the third quarter, and you know, that we didn't put Reggie in the rest of the game. We were able to play Trevor and then Travis, and that's key. Here, you know, you see number 90, that's Ace. Avante Bell, who's in there, number 33. You know, Jameer, Irvin Sills is in there, and those are all guys that are really good players, and we love the fact they get the opportunity to play.
Here, Wayne State with the final score. Ramella Brown finally into the end zone. Again, though, you've done a great job on him all afternoon long.
Yeah, he's a force. We were just so pleased that we were able to hold him down. And here's David Drummond leaping one guy, and then, Darius making the tackle on that play. But David Drummond's a great athlete, too, that we haven't seen much of. So, all in all, a great victory, and really proud of how hard we fought and how we executed and played. Really, you don't have the Trevor Birmingham punts in there, but he was an absolute unbelievable punter in the game, and that kind of backed them up and made them have a long field in a lot of circumstances.
You mentioned Trevor Birmingham, GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, Reggie Bell, GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week. Nice to see those guys get recognition after a win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see two Ferris guys out of the three, Players of the Week. Reggie being the offensive guy, and his balance of run and pass was extraordinary, and his numbers were great. And then, like I said, Trevor blasted 3 balls inside the 5. Some of them are just one of those things where you get a hole-in-one, you're like, hey, I got a hole-in-one, and it's miracle work, but it was just incredible to see, and this ball kind of sat right down inside the 5 3 times, and it really, put them up against it because they're backed up on a lot of possessions.
This week on the road at Hillsdale, and a team that you haven't beaten in your tenure here at Ferris State, and the only team that you haven't beaten.
Right, it's the only GLIAC team we haven't beat. So we played them our first 2 years, and that was our last regular season loss. Once we went on that streak that ended at home against Ashland, but they're certainly a well-coached team. Coach Otterbein, former Bulldog head coach, is a great coach and a great mentor to young men. And then, they're just a well-disciplined team. They just do so many things well, and they're so well-schooled. And just watching the film, we're going to have our hands full with a lot of the schemes that they have. And they're just a good, well-rounded team. And so we're going to have to play well to beat them on Saturday.
2 games left here in the regular season, a chance to finish the regular season with 9 wins, and certainly a lot to play for at this point of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't been at our best all year, but the 2 losses, we both had, both games we had over 550 yards of offense. So there's times where even in those 2 losses we were really good, and so if we can just be the way we were Saturday and keep that momentum riding, I feel really good about our opportunity to play at our highest level at the right time. And it's hard to do sometimes. The last 2 years we were undefeated, and it almost felt like you were just fighting to win the GLIAC championship. And so we kind of got caught a little bit and probably wearing ourselves out a little bit. Now I feel like we're peaking at the right time, and our kids are really excited about the way we're performing, and I think that things are looking bright.
Finally here, after this past game, the game ball went to a young man from Lake Erie, Linderick Craig, that was presented with the game ball after the Bulldog win, injured last week. Just talk about that and what that means.
Yeah, I'm so happy you mentioned that. Linderick is a young man that got hurt in our game last week, and he's had over 5 vascular surgeries. It was really a horrific injury, and ultimately the game of football is a game, and you care about the young people both on across the sideline, and you care about the players on your sideline. But Linderick's still down in Grand Rapids at Butterworth, and he's got some challenges to overcome. But he's had great doctors and a great mom, and they're fighting hard. But we gave him and I thought he was an inspiration to our team on Saturday, and we gave him the game ball. All our guys signed it, and I think our guys felt really good about that. And I brought it to him yesterday in the hospital. I've seen him several times in the hospital, and his mom's down there with him. But I feel great about that. Ultimately, you're looking for being the right kind of team on the field, but being the right kind of team and respecting those that you compete against off the field is just as important, probably more important.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the win, and best of luck as you go to Hillsdale this week.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.